On the news, many feared trapped as three-story building collapses in the Ebotemeta area of Lagos. Jubilation in the APC as former House of Rep Speaker Yakubu Dogara dumps opposition PDP. And federal government mandates civil servants to undergo COVID-19 testing. A warm welcome to News Now. I am Annetta Phillips. We begin with some sad news. An unconfirmed number of people are feared trapped underneath the rubbles of a three-story building that collapsed in the Ebotemeta area of Lagos State. Emergency responders who arrived at the scene of the incident shortly after the collapse have managed to rescue one victim alive. Director General of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Okiosaitolu, who confirmed the development, says there was no loss of life. He also adds that the cause of the collapse is yet to be ascertained, but rescue operations is still underway. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara has defected from the opposition People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress. This was disclosed by the chairman of the APC Caretaker Convention Planning Committee and Governor of Kebbi State, Mai Malabuni, after the duo met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. Although Dogara refused to address newsmen after the meeting, Maibuni told journalists that the former speaker is now a member of the APC.
The former speaker is a member of APC. The reason for which he left the APC is no more there. We welcomed him. He's happy with the development. That's what he's looking for. Yeah, we are rebuilding the party, and these are the steps we are taking towards rebuilding the party. We are meeting all our aggrieved members, particularly who have interest in coming back to the party. They should feel free to do so. We are assuring them, and there is no crime in double assurance. Well, we will do justice to all our members, and that's what will bring peace. That is what will guarantee peaceful coexistence. That is what will guarantee the consolidation of the party, the rebuilding of the party. Without doing justice, you cannot achieve that, and we are sure of doing justice to all manner of our members. Well, of course, not only 2023 strategy. This party, we are rebuilding the party to outlive all of us. It's not about a specific time or period. It's not about election. It's not about electioneering. It is about building a party.
Dogara's meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari came hours after he returned from his peace mission to Bamako, Mali. The Nigerian leader visited the East African country on Thursday, alongside 4 other African leaders, to find a lasting solution to the crisis rocking the country. The day-long meeting with the leaders, however, did not yield much result, as protest movement against President Ibrahim Keita's rule continues to gain momentum. With the failure of the intervention, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has now scheduled a summit for Monday with the hope of reaching a compromise between the warring factions. An uprising against President Ibrahim Keita, headed by a resistance group known as the M5, has led to mass protests and killings in the country in the past weeks. The Presidency has denied reports that it has dissolved the Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Lawmakers at the National Assembly had on Thursday called for the dissolution of the committee after indicting it for reckless spending. The Senate thereafter advised that the NDDC be supervised directly by the Presidency. But reacting to reports in some sections of the media that the IMC has been dissolved due to calls by the legislature, the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, said there was nothing as such. The President had in October 2019 set up a 3-man committee to create the enabling environment for the forensic audits that covers 18 years of NDDC's operations between 2001 and 2019. Let's now look at security matters. The Nigerian Defense Headquarters says Nigerian troops are making appreciable impact in the operational mandates to stamp banditry and other criminal activities. Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, said this during an update on the activities of armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies in the last 1 week. Enenche explains that the sustained offensives in various parts across the country stems of human intelligence reports resulting to the killing of several criminals, recovery of some vital items, and rescue of scores of victims. He also revealed that troops also suffered some casualties during the raid.
Nigerian Navy ship Delta. The team from there intercepted 2 large wooden boats along Alaja Creek. The boats were laden with about 40,000 liters of product suspected to be illegally refined AGO and stored in polythene bags. The boats and contents were recovered to the base. Following closely to this, Operation Scam Waters and Swift Response on the 18th of July 2020 impounded petroleum products as well as arrested the boats involved in the illegal activities. Furthermore, within the week, Forward Operating Base Escravos Patrol Team intercepted a wooden boat without engine along Madango Creek, Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State. The boat, which contained an unquantified product suspected to be illegally refined AGO, was dismantled. Thereafter, the team proceeded to Jones Creek, the general area where another wooden boat without engine laden with about 345.94 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil was discovered and intercepted.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has appealed to residents of the state to exercise patience and bear the discomfort that will be experienced from the 6-month partial closure of the 3rd mainland bridge, which starts by midnight today. According to Sanwo-Olu, the closure was inevitable following physical deterioration observed on the structure after an integrity test conducted by the federal government. Sanwo-Olu spoke on Thursday while receiving the new sector commander of the Federal Road Service Safety Corps (FRSC) in Lagos at the State House in Marina. The governor revealed that during the period of closure, a lane of the bridge will be open to traffic for vehicles driving inward Lagos Island in the morning, while the other lane will be shut. The reverse will be done for vehicles driving inward mainland in the afternoon, while the other would be shut. Still in Lagos, the Special Advisor in Drainage and Water Resources, Joe Ibokwe, has called on those trying to subvert the unity among the Indigbo in the All Progressives Congress in Lagos to refrain from the act. Addressing journalists on the division among the Indigbo in Lagos APC, Ibokwe said the decision of former Lagos lawmaker Jude Idimogu to parade himself as the apex leader of Indigbo APC in the state is capable of brewing discord among its people and party members.
You went to the State Assembly under the platform of PDP in 2015. In 2019, we have decimated PDP in Lagos through dint of hard work and commitment. You now found out that if you go, this isn't the same party you will lose. You came to APC. So if you come into APC, we'll run away from you. As what? Is he a member of APC? Ask him. He's still at the door. So it will not stand. He can't be my superior in Lagos politics. He can't be. Let's take the matter up. That's my pains. We cannot find one leader we can respect. That he does not tell you anything. Just weigh the options. Tell me as president who have been in the saddle for a long time, whether I have to leave the space for Jude Idimogu. Answer the question.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has pledged to work in concert with the International Human Rights Commission, IHRC, to stamp out the menace of human trafficking in Nigeria. Director General of the agency, Julie Okadonli, made the pledge when the IHRC team, led by the country head, Friday Sani, paid her a courtesy call on Friday. She says the anti-human trafficking campaign must be embraced by all and sundry, just as she urged governments to ensure the compulsion and affordability of education for all Nigerians.
I would want to present two simple, doable prayers for your immediate consideration and approval. 1. Your agency to approve our partnership in the area of rehabilitation of victims of trafficking. Our organization, as it is structured today, has about 50 active lawyers under the Central Office of International Human Rights Commission. We also have psychologists, among other professionals. And good enough, the country head is a philosopher, technocrat, and an administrator par excellence. Number 2, we pray the agency to uphold the Nigerian criminal system, justice system, which disallow detention of accused persons beyond 48 hours without being charged to court.
We have a sexual and gender-based violence unit, a full unit here in NAPTIP, and my head of unit will be happy to work with your representative, so she can liaise with with our representative on whatever they need to do together. But we have a full unit established in NAPTIP, which was commissioned about 3 weeks ago or thereabouts. Yeah.
Sheita Babatayo, a lady who accused musician Olusegun Ibanjo, also known as the Ibanjo, of rape, has written a letter to the police withdrawing her petition. This happened just as the police said it has been unable to establish a case of rape against the musician. In a letter dated July 17, 2020, and addressed to the Inspector General of Police through her lawyer Olamide Omileye, she said she was withdrawing from the case for personal reasons. In his response to the letter, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Omar Sanda, said investigation has discontinued due to lack of evidence. Let's take a break here, but still to come, the federal government considers GCE as replacement for WAEC exam as graduating students remain at home due to rising COVID-19 cases. You're welcome back. Here are some of our top stories tonight. An unconfirmed number of people are feared trapped underneath the rubbles of a 3-story building that collapsed earlier today at the Ebutemeta area of Lagos State. While the state emergency chief says no death has been recorded yet, emergency respondents have managed to rescue 1 victim and rescue operations is still ongoing. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has defected from the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. News of his defection was announced on Friday after Dogara and chairman of the APC Caretaker Committee, Mai Malabuni, met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. We also told you that the presidency has denied reports that it has dissolved the Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. There have been speculations that the IMC was dissolved after lawmakers at the National Assembly on Thursday indicted it for financial recklessness. But reacting in a statement on Friday, presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina said there was nothing as such. The federal government has directed all civil servants to undergo COVID-19 test. Evelyn Ingege, Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Officer, said the government has provided testing facilities at this day dome in Abuja. The dome is one of the isolation centers for COVID-19 patients in the nation's capital. According to the circular, testing for civil servants will hold from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily as part of efforts to curtail the spread of the disease. Nigeria has confirmed a total of 38,948 COVID-19 cases, with 833 people dead from the virus. The federal government has said Nigerian students may be asked to sit for the General Certificate Examinations, GCE, which is holding in November, and that's if the country fails to meet up with this year's timetable for the West African Secondary School Certificate Examination. The Minister of State for Education, Emeka Wajibia, made this known at the bi-weekly Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 meeting on Thursday. He explained that a shift may become necessary since the exam cannot be rescheduled for any reason. This is coming weeks after the Nigerian government reversed its earlier announcement on the resumption of schools. It also said no Nigerian school will participate in WAEC earlier scheduled from August 5th to September 5th. The Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, says it's illegal to use rapid diagnostic test kits for COVID-19 testing in Lagos until the government can validate otherwise. Abayomi said this at a news briefing on COVID-19 Lagos response, explained that RDT kits have a very high risk of giving false positive or negative results, which could be traumatizing for citizens. The commissioner explains that the state government has considered the use of rapid diagnostic test kits as part of the strategies to expand its testing capacity, but noted that none of the RDT kits submitted for validation passed the test.
Recording over 14,000 cases of COVID-19, Lagos State has been at the forefront doubling efforts to ensure victory in the fight against the infection. But as much as the state is not relenting in its effort, a recent projection by the State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, depicts a surge in the COVID-19 cases by August 2020.
According to our modeling, we expect that Lagos will theoretically peak in the month of August, and then it will flatten out, and after some time, we will start to see a decrease in the number of cases. So this is modeling, it's not a hard science. We look at trends, we look at the community, and we apply mathematical modeling to give us some idea of a prediction of what's likely to happen in Lagos.
Again, the Health Commissioner at the briefing reiterated that the use of rapid diagnostic test kits for COVID-19 testing in Lagos remains illegal until the government can validate otherwise.
Mr. Governor has actually sponsored the evaluation of a number of rapid diagnostic tests that are available on the market. And we have put them through a rigorous validation process in the laboratory, and we have found that all of them have failed. In other words, they do not have high enough accuracy for us to use these rapid tests for the COVID-19 response. The reason for this is because these tests are giving a high false positive and a high false negative. What does that mean? It means those tests will tell you that you are positive when you are not, and they will tell you you are negative when you are positive. And as you can imagine, that has serious consequences and has even led to the death of people in community because the tests have shown patients to be negative while indeed they were positive, and because of that, they did not recognize the importance of them being moved to a COVID facility, and they died in community.
Giving a breakdown on the state's expenses, Abayomi revealed that the state government spends about 100,000 naira daily on a COVID-19 patient with mild to moderate cases, while patients with severe cases could go up to 1 million naira to maintain on a daily basis.
We have managed to calculate the cost roughly of a mild case or a mild to moderate case in our isolation facilities. And it is somewhere in the region of 100,000 naira per day. That gives you an idea of the amount of money that the government is spending on COVID isolation facilities and COVID care. If you require high care and intensive care, that amount can go up to anything from 500,000 to, depending on the complication of the case.
The Nigeria's commercial capital remains the epicenter of the coronavirus infection since it recorded its index case in February. The state has, however, been imposing strict measures on its residents to control the spread of the infection. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Lagos.
And Governor of Kwara State, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, has cancelled congregational prayers, which is part of the Eid al-Adha celebration. The annual religious festival has been slated for July 30th. The state government had earlier hinted on the need to meet with the religious leaders in the state to deliberate on ways to curb the spread of COVID-19 and protocols to be followed for the celebration. While addressing journalists on Friday, Abdulrazak said the cancellation of the congregational prayers had to be because of the huge number of people that are expected to gather and the possibility of such gatherings leading to a spike in COVID-19 cases and potential deaths. Kwara State has 707 confirmed cases of COVID-19, out of which 449 are active. Since the COVID-19 lockdowns, hundreds of businesses around the world have had to close down. In Nigeria, over 50,000 startups lay idle, but an incubator in Abuja has been using technology to keep hundreds of entrepreneurs in business. This next report has more.
Ventures Park, a co-working space in the heart of Abuja and home to over 800 startups. It used to be a melting pot of connections and ideas, with over 5,000 monthly visitors. But since the federal government imposed COVID-19 lockdowns, occupants of these offices had to lock up shop. Luckily, staying at home created room for remote work, all thanks to technology.
Since we've had to lock down because of the pandemic, most of what we do now is now virtual. So our programs, they're happening virtually. Our community, they are interacting and collaborating virtually. And right now, everyone has had to work remotely, work from home. So we support them with ways they can do that, stay productive even as they work remotely.
The pandemic has taken its toll on global economies, and Nigeria is not exempted. So for businesses to survive, Nkechi Oguchi advises founders to adapt to the changing times.
The way we have functioned and operated has changed. It has evolved. There's going to be more demand of virtual and digital ways of doing business and receiving services. And every company has to position themselves for that as well. So it's going to be an evolution of what thing is going to look like. And we just have to envision what that future would be like. We also launched something called the COVID Innovation Challenge, which was our way to support the government and to create great ideas and initiatives and new startups that are able to help combat the COVID challenge that we're facing in the country.
To spur these innovations, Ventures Park is partnering the Lagos State Science and Research Innovation Council to fund startups that would develop products and services to help millions of Africans through COVID-19.
Fidelia Angucha is standing by for the latest business stories and will be joining her after this break. Welcome back, and here's Fidelia for the latest business stories.
Thank you very much, Annetta. Nigeria has lost a sum of $1.4 billion to the importation of chemicals in 2019. This is according to the Director General of the National Research Institute for Chemical Technology, Zaria, Geoffrey Barminas. Barminas made a disclosure on Thursday at an interactive session in Abuja with the Senate Committee on Science and Technology, chaired by Uche Ekwunife. He said that if the country got its research and infrastructure in chemical technology right, it would cover up the gap in importation of chemicals. Oil prices edged higher on Friday, supported by a weaker dollar, though tensions between the United States and China weighed on prices. Brent crude was up by 26 cents at $43.57 a barrel, while U.S. crude was up by 29 cents at $41.36 a barrel. The ongoing feud between the two world powers pushed the dollar to a 22-month low, and the weaker dollar usually spurs buying of commodities priced in dollars such as oil because they become cheaper for holders of other currencies. We will now shift focus to the stock market after this break. Stay with us. Well, there was an increase in activities today at Nigeria's stock market, with the volume of traded equities surging by over 10,000 units. The value of trade also saw a spike, moving from the 2.125 billion seen on Thursday to 2.384 billion at the close of trade today. But with uncertainties about the direction of the nation's economy, investors seem to be withdrawing more than they're investing, pushing the market value down by over 40 billion naira. The negative outlook saw the all share index crash by 0.34% to stand at 24,427 basis points. Now, after shedding 38 naira in value, Seplat tops the pack of losers today. It is closely followed by BUA Cement right here, Unilever PLC and UBA, the three of them dropping by a combined 1 naira and 7 kobo. On the flip side, we have Julius Berger right here, leading the pack of equities that managed to chalk up gains today. Stanbic IBTC, as well as Custodian PLC and Dangote Sugar also had a good day. But in all, it's been a positive week for the NSE, whose value in the past 5 days has surged by 73 billion naira. Outside Nigeria now, the FTSE, Dow and Nikkei are falling amid worsening US-China relations and rising coronavirus cases in America and Europe. That is from the world of business. It's back to Annetta Felix.
Thanks for the business update, Fidelia. Moving on now, China has ordered the United States to close its consulate in the southwestern city of Chengdu, retaliating against Washington's move earlier this week to shut down the Chinese consulate in the city of Houston. The Chinese Foreign Ministry described the move as a legitimate and necessary response to the unreasonable measures by the U.S. It, however, did not say when the consulate must be vacated, but local media reports that the notice period was 72 hours. The tit-for-tat moves comes amid a dramatic escalation in tensions between the world's two biggest economies. On Tuesday, Washington gave Beijing 72 hours to close its mission in Houston, Texas, alleging the theft of intellectual property and espionage. All clubs should have a minimum of one qualified doctor and a medical officer and a physiotherapist while matches are being played. The Adhoc Committee on Safety and Security set up by the Nigeria Football Federation said this in its report to the NFF at a virtual conference on Friday. The NFF had set up the committee to unravel the circumstances that led to the death of Nasarawa United player Chineme Martins. The committee reports also revealed that Nasarawa United had neither a medical doctor nor a physiotherapist at the stadium on the day of his death. It also noted that there was no functional ambulance stationed at the stadium on that fateful day. Martins collapsed and died in March 2020 during a MPFL home game at the Lafayette Township Stadium. And that's it on News Now at this hour. Many thanks for watching. I am Annetta Felix. Bye for now.